Hey everybody, Chris and Marina here. We are here at the Avengers Campus, but not about the rides or the attractions, but today it's all about the food, and we invite you to join us on this episode of The Walker Chronicles. Even though there are only a few options for food in Avengers Campus, there is quite a variety of items to choose from. Pym's Test Kitchen offers a variety of different entrees and starters on the menu, while the Shawarma Palace offers a few different shawarma sandwiches. If you're looking for an adult beverage, Pym's Tasting Lab has you covered. Now the downside is that the campus is extremely busy. Mobile ordering filled up for the day within a couple of hours. We put our order in at around 9 a.m. and our pickup time was not until 7:20 p.m. and the standby line was easily over an hour. Was it worth the wait? Keep watching to find out.
Okay, so for our first selection from Pym Labs is the pint-sized pint mini beer flight. So I have 4 here. This was $35. They are quite small, but you get to keep the little cups and the ruler, which is kind of nice as a souvenir of the day. I'm not really a beer drinker, that's the funny thing, but I am going to try these and see what they taste like. Maybe it'll change my mind. I was asking Chris if there was any description on the menu as to what kind of beers these are, and per the website it just said that they were assorted beers, so don't know what they are. I know they go from light to dark, and I'm gonna give them a try, and even though I'm not a beer drinker, maybe I'll like them, and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get them again, and maybe I won't, but I won't know until I try. All right.
I don't know if that's beer or water.
I don't know. It actually has carbonation.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is like. That can't be beer. It kind of tastes like seltzer, like a hard seltzer, and because it has some fizz to it, I think that's what it is. It tastes good. It has a little bit of a fruity taste to it. It's really light. I don't see myself drinking this, even if I drink a lot, getting like kind of happy, if you know what I mean. But it's good. It's a pretty refreshing drink. I'm liking this one so far. Let's try this middle one here. The glasses, the steins are really cute. Okay, we're getting into beer territory here. No bitter aftertaste. That's the one thing I don't care about beer. This, pretty light in flavor. I don't taste any like citrus, anything like that. It's just a nice, light, flavorful beer. I like it. I would drink this again. Now we're getting into the amber. I'm guessing they go by lightest to strongest, being that the last one is dark. So this one I'm a little nervous about. Oh, okay. Bitter aftertaste, definite grapefruit with this one, definite grapefruit. Not a favorite, not light, and I wouldn't even say it's, at least for me, not refreshing either. If you're a fan of the grapefruit beer, this one's for you.
I think that thing is going to be
Dark. A stout, like a some kind of Irish beer with a head on it, maybe. Right. Oh. I think I smell chocolate or coffee. That's a definite chocolate taste in there. Wow, this is really good. It is not bitter. Nice and creamy on the top. Wow, this is maybe one of my favorites, and I would never guess because it's a dark beer, and just beer in general is not something that I take to, but this is pretty nice. Really, really smooth. Well, do I recommend these? I do. This one here, not so much, but the rest of them are totally something I would drink. So I would say I would recommend this.
What I ordered from the Pym Test Lab was the Particle Fizz. The Particle Fizz has Endless Summer Hard Seltzer, Passion Fruit Orange Guava, and Cherry-Filled Boba. It looks great. Smells good. It tastes like a hard seltzer with a little fruitiness to it. It's actually very good. It's refreshing on a hot day like this. I would definitely get this again.
So one of the items that we got was the snack moleculars. It's got a little mix of everything. It's a really small bag, let's be honest. It's $7, but it looks pretty tasty, and to be honest, we're hungry. We haven't eaten much yet. Our food day is starting in the evening, so this is the beginning of it. And I think we're going to be able to eat this in about 2 handfuls, or one of Chris's handfuls.
All right, so we've got here the Pym Test Kitchen snack molecules. It says recipe by Scott L. I'm going to assume that's Scott Lang, which would be Ant-Man. Let's give this thing open up and see exactly what's inside. So we got some popcorn, pretzels. The popcorn actually looks like it might have a flavoring to it. I'm guessing maybe caramel or kettle corn or something.
Yeah, no, can't really see.
Oh, you can't? Okay. Well, here's some of the popcorn.
All right.
It's like a toffee coated popcorn. That's good. I never knew what these were, but you see them in bars sometime.
Is it a pretzel?
It's not a pretzel. It's something else.
So the popcorn that was in there, is it like a chocolate popcorn and a toffee popcorn?
Like a toffee covered popcorn.
Okay, there's something in there that looks like it had some chocolate powder to it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Here's actually, it looks like maybe some toffee peanuts are mixed in there as well.
Huh. So overall, for $7.
It's good. It's small for $7, but it's the size I would expect from a theme park. But yeah, it's good.
Would you get it again?
Maybe. I might. The problem is this is going to make you more thirsty, which I think is the goal, which is going to make you buy more booze.
Okay, so we just picked up our mobile order from Shawarma Palace, and we ordered both of the shawarma entrees, I guess you could say. This is the chicken. This is the New York's finest, and it comes with chicken shawarma and a coconut yogurt tahini sauce. And this is the Impossible Victory falafel. So it's a plant-based falafel and a cauliflower wrap with coconut and tahini sauce. And I got some extra tahini sauce, and I didn't know that it already came with one. So I have 3. But I'm gonna taste these and see if I like them or not. It's pretty big, pretty nice size. I can already see the yogurt sauce in it. Chris is not a fan of yogurt sauce, so he won't be trying these, unfortunately. I have to eat both of these myself. Let's give it a shot. So the wrap is really nice and moist, really flexible and pliable. The chicken, really flavorful. There is a spice of cumin in here. I like cumin and I like the yogurt sauce, but it does have the hint of heat, just a smidge. I think this is really good. I think it's a nice size for what you get at an amusement park, and this kind of a meal at an amusement park, you usually don't find these kinds of things. I think this is a great item to get, and I'm gonna try it with this yogurt sauce. A little bit more. There's not too much in here. I think it could use a little more, but I think they do that because maybe some people don't like sauces. So let's try it with the yogurt sauce. So this yogurt sauce has a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of tomato and onion, and some just fell out, sorry. Let's take a bite. I love it with the yogurt sauce. The yogurt sauce is nice, it's cool and creamy, and because it has a little dairy in it, it cuts that heat that I was feeling. If I was eating this, I would definitely eat it with the extra yogurt sauce. I have another one to eat, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this, but I'm going to give it a superhero shot. All right, so now to try the falafel, and I'll try it without the yogurt sauce, and then I'll try it with. It's got quite a bit of the pita bread on the outside, so I don't want to eat too much of that. I really want to get into the falafel, so let me take a little bit off. There we go. Here we go. Get to the falafel of it. So for the first bite, it has a nice taste to it. It's an Impossible falafel, so it's plant-based. But I bit into something really mushy, and I think it was the cauliflower. There's cauliflower in here. It wasn't a pleasant texture. Let me get into the falafel of it and maybe add a little yogurt sauce and see what that does. That was definitely better. It's better with yogurt sauce. It's better that I bit into the actual falafel and not the cauliflower. I like cauliflower, but that was a little bit too mushy for me. This one doesn't really hold together as good as the chicken one does. It's kind of losing pieces left and right here. This is good, and I'm really happy that it's a plant-based item that you can get here at the park now. I just need to add a little bit more yogurt sauce to every bite, because for me that really makes a difference. All right, much better. This yogurt sauce is everything. So, would I get him again? Yeah, I think I would. Okay, so what we have here is from Terran Treats, and it is the Sweet Spiral Ration. And if I remember correctly from the cast preview, this had a tad taste of pineapple, which was okay. The inside was not completely like churro dough, kind of like you could bite into it, it's kind of airy. This is kind of dense, and it had a little bit of a chew to it, which was something we weren't expecting. Not sure if that's the way it was supposed to be, but let's try this one and see if they're consistent with their churro. So I would have to say this one is much better as far as the cook on it. I don't know if you can tell here, but it looks quite fluffy and not mushy or undercooked, kind of pasty on the inside. It does still have that pineapple flavor to it, and in the description of this particular item, it does say that it has essence of pineapple. I think this is much better than when we had it last week, and somehow it's not as sweet as it was last week. Last week we had a few people eating off of one to try it, and it was really sweet. This one not so much, and you can see it has a bunch of sugar on the top. I like this, and if I come back, I will be getting this again because I don't have to mobile order it. I can just walk up to Terran Treats, get one, and the only difficult part about this is finding a seat to eat it. So, cheers!
So now it's my turn. I did have this last time, and I think I liked it a little better than Marina did, but the inside was kind of doughy, so let's give this one a shot. So I would agree with Marina. This one time it's much better. It's more of an actual churro consistency. You do taste the slightest bit of pineapple, I think, in there, and it doesn't seem as sweet. There's still the sugar coating on the outside, but the dough doesn't seem as sweet as it was last time. Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this. I think this is a good option. I would actually get it again as a dessert if I was here in Avengers Campus.
All right, so also from Terran Treats, we have the Cosmic Cream Orb, and this has a whipped raspberry cheesecake on the inside. From what I can remember from last week, this was my favorite of the two because it was not as sweet. So let's see, for consistency's sake, if the same holds true. Look at that purple cream on the inside. Wow. So that raspberry flavor really comes through on the cream. It's tangy, it's creamy, not so sweet. This is just like I remember from last week. The only thing I have to say I wish this had was a little bit more texture. This outer shell, it's not crunchy at all. It looks like it could be, and in my opinion, it should be, because if this was crunchy and you have that creamy feeling, this would be a home run. It's still good, but if I was in the kitchen and I was making tweaks, this would have the crunchy shell.
All right, so now it's my turn. I had this last time as well, which I did enjoy, and I do believe Marina's right. It should have more of a crunchy texture, but I believe it tasted pretty good. So let's see if they're consistent with it. Yeah, it's a really good dessert. The outer shell is actually really thin. It's actually not thick at all. I would assume this is more almost like a cupcake with filling in, but it's not. It's a very thin shell on the outside filled with all of this raspberry cheesecake. It's actually really good. This is something I would get again as well. It is kind of sweet, but not overly sweet. Probably still a good thing to share though.
All right, everybody, we're here at Pym's Test Kitchen, and I have the Quantum Pretzel, and this is a pretzel with celery, blue cheese, carrots, chicken, kind of a buffalo style pretzel. Perfect bar style pretzel if you ask me. Also has this hot sauce, this buffalo sauce drizzled all over it also. Looks fantastic. I've been looking forward to tasting this, and we're gonna do it today, so let's dig in. Let's get a little bit of the chicken and the pretzel, a little bit of the buffalo sauce here. See if I can get some celery on there. That was a great bite. The chicken was nice and tender, had a nice seasoning to it. That buffalo sauce is coming through, but there is some blue cheese crumbles in here and a little bit of a ranch dressing, I think, that kind of is helping cool it off. This is really good. The nice texture of the celery really balances it out with the salty and spicy. I really like this. We didn't get any drinks from Pym Lab to go with this meal. We probably should have, because some of the things that we have are bar food like this, and it would have been perfect. But this, I think, is a home run. Here I have the panini sandwich, and this is kind of that Italian meats with a roasted tomato spread on a focaccia bread. We have some roasted tomato spread here also, marinara, I guess you could say, and then a arugula salad, which looks like kind of ranch dressing. I had this before last week. It was really good, and I'm really excited to get it again. So let's give it another taste. All right, you guys, look at the stack of meat in here. There's a layer of cheese that when you bite into this, it's salty from the meat, but then you have that nice creamy cheese and the crunch of the focaccia, the tanginess of that tomato spread in there. This is a true winner, and it's cut in like a pizza wedge. I wish it was kind of square, because I would feel like I'm getting more, but this is fantastic. I highly recommend the panini sandwich. And the arugula salad, if you've had arugula, it's a little peppery, and that dressing kind of mellows it out. It is maybe a bite or two, so you don't get a lot, but I think it's totally worth the price that you pay for it here.
All right, so I actually got the Impossible meatball and pasta. I had this last time, it was really fantastic, and I wanted it again. Let me get rid of this little fork here. And if you look in the dish, there's actually a really large meatball and a really tiny meatball, kind of going with the whole theme of the Pym Labs, or Pym's Test Kitchen. Now this is an Impossible meatball, so it's actually plant-based. I've had quite a few Impossible meats in the past, mainly the hamburgers, they've always been fantastic. So I knew this was going to be a home run as well, so let's see if it's just as good as it was last time. I'm going to take that whole little meatball in one bite. It is so good. The pasta's cooked really well, and if you look at the pasta, it's actually a big pasta with a small piece of pasta inside of it. Once again, going with the theme of something large and something small. And almost every large piece is just like that, so. But the pasta's cooked really well. The meatball's fantastic. It's got a lot of cheese on top of it. It's a really, really good dish. I'll take one more bite of the big meatball with some pasta. Just a great dish. This will be probably my go-to every time I come here, unless they introduce something new on the menu. All right, so next we ended up with the not-so-little chicken sandwich. You can see this tiny little bun with this massive cut of chicken on top of it. It looks like a pounded piece of chicken, kind of like a Wiener Schnitzel, but with chicken. It looks fantastic. The little bun has some salad on top of it, or with a little bit of dressing, and it comes with a side of tater tots, and who doesn't love tater tots? I'm gonna grab one real quick. Crunchy tater tots, not oily at all, really good. Let me cut a piece of this chicken now. Very crunchy, as you can tell. Really good. The breading is almost like a panko. It's really crispy, but the chicken inside is still really tender. So it's not like it's overcooked, especially with chicken this thick, this thin. I would assume it might get really tough, but it actually tastes really, really good. And the tater tots go, this is another great dish. And it looks like it's big enough to feed 2 people. All right, so this is actually the Quantum Pretzel. This thing's massive, as you can see. It comes in its own little cool little display. I don't know what to call it. There's some kind of stand to hold this thing up there. It comes with 2 different types of sauces, a mustard and then a cheese-based sauce as well. I'm gonna go ahead and rip off a piece here and give this thing a taste. Try not to have it fall off. I'm gonna go for the cheese sauce, because that's going to be my favorite. So the pretzel is really soft. It is dense, but not as dense as I would have expected. The cheese sauce is fantastic. The pretzel has salt on it, but not a crazy amount of salt, kind of like the ones you get sometimes at Universal Studios. But this is really good. I mean, this is definitely, could be eaten as an entire meal, or definitely shared amongst several people. This is definitely not just for 2 people to share. But just look at the size of this thing. It's a little bit of a spectacle, but it also tastes fantastic.
All right, so we've gone through all the food, and now it's time for dessert, and it's the Choco Smash time. This has just about everything in it. There is a description of what it is, but it looks like there's some caramel, nougat, a brownie, and some milk chocolate. So I'm gonna cut this with a knife. See, wow, this is really tough. Wow, I'm guessing it's the nougat. That's wow. Okay, see if I can break it off. Let's get a close look at what's inside. Wow. All right, so I'm making a huge mess here, but there's milk chocolate on the outside is the coating. That nougat is what's holding this all together like a brick. So let's give it a try. Bend it and break a piece off. Okay. I need a steak knife for this, actually. Wow. Okay. Phew. All right, that was some work. So here it is. Looks pretty sweet. This is probably more up Chris's alley, but it's my turn to give it a taste. I'm just gonna say it. If you have delicate dental work, don't get this. This is gonna pull out your fillings and maybe a root canal, a crown. This is like pulling really thick caramel. It's tough to chew, and I think you will have some dental work that needs to be done after this, or that needs to be repaired. It's really good. Kind of reminds me of a baby Ruth with a few little extras. It's a real nice salty sweet dessert though. So if you don't have issues with dental work, have at it, because this is really, really good. Maybe small bites. Small bites.